Here we are in section 3.2 exercises, part C, with the solutions to numbers 23 through 30. Number 23, 14 is what percent of 68? We need to translate this into an equation so we know what we should be doing with it. 14 is means equals. What percent? We don't know, and in math we put a variable there for what we don't know so we can see how to find it. P of means times 68. And look at that, we've got a happy math equation right there. P times 68 equals 14. How do we undo that to find out what P is? Well, we divide both sides by 68. Divide by 68, divide by 68, and we're left with P equals, let's punch that in the calculator, 14 divided by 68 equals 0.206. It looks like 0.206. Now, it doesn't ask us just for what P is, it asks us for that in a percent. So we must transfer this and make it 2 decimal places to 20.6%. Let's double check our answer. And we have 20.6% right there on number 23. If you were to carry out an extra decimal place or two, that's okay as well. Number 24. What? We don't know what that is. Let's put an X there. Is, so X is 37% is 0.37. We move that decimal place 2 places, so we get a 0.37. Of means times 754. Do we need to do anything to solve for X? No, X is already by itself, so we just times these two numbers. There is no algebra necessary. 0.37, that's 37%, of means times 754 equals 278.98. 278.98. Let's check our answer. 278.98. That is correct. Notice we didn't have to change that back to a percent or anything. It was just what number is it. Number 25. If we look at 119 is 18% of what? We don't know what is. Let's put an X there or an N if we wanted to. 119 is 18%. Move the decimal 2 places to put it into a decimal of X. Alrighty. How do we solve for X? Well, this is a happy math equation. We know this. We can be like, yes, we know how to do this. Divide by 0.18, divide by 0.18 will allow us to solve for X. So it cancels over on this side, and on the other side, we just punch that into the calculator. So this should be X equals, calculator please, 119 divided by 0.18 equals 661.11111 on forever. All right, 661.1. Let's check our answer. 661.1. And if you wanted to carry out that decimal a little bit longer or put a bar over it to be exactly correct, you're certainly welcome to do that. Number 26. 27 is what percent? So I'm going to put a P to remind me that it's a percent that I'm trying to find. P of 74. Well, look at that. That's an algebra equation that we know how to solve. We can get P by itself by dividing both sides by 74. Let's do that. Divide by 74. Divide by 74. And it equals, P equals, calculator, 27 divided by 74. And that equals 0.3649. 0.3649. It's asking for a percent, so we do need to change this decimal 1, 2 into a percent. 36.49%. Let's check that answer. And they did 36.5%, rounding it 1 decimal place. Perfectly fine. Nice. Number 27. The original price is $192.56. The tax is 7.3%, which as a decimal is 0.073 because you move it 2 places. And what happens with the final price? Well, a tax gets added on to the original price. So we're going to take 7.3% of this original price. Well, we can do that just in our calculator, 0.073 times 192.56. And then the tax says that that number will get added on to our original price, 192.56. So let's punch that whole thing into the calculator. 192.56 plus 0.073 times 192.56 equals 206.616, 0.62 if we round to the nearest cent, the nearest hundredth. And that will be in dollars. Let's go and check and see if that's correct. 206.62. It is correct. That's good. Now on to the next number, number 28. The original price we don't know, but there is a discount of 35%, which will change to 0.35 by moving the decimal 2 places. So 35% of that original price, and then a discount means it was subtracted off of that original price to get the final price. Well, that means our equation, if we put a variable here because we didn't know it, means that we took the original price, subtracted off 35% or 0.35 of the original price, and that equaled $43.90. All right. Hey, this is a math equation. We know how to do this. Combine these like terms. There's a 1 in front of that p. 1 minus 0.35 is 0.65p equals 43.90 if you choose to write that. We can get p by itself by dividing both sides by 0.65. So we get p equals 43.9 divided by 0.65 equals 67.54. 67.54 when you round. Let's check that answer. 67.54. Excellent. Number 29. After an increase, so we're going to have a plus, of 50%. 50% in 1 year, there were 102 operating LDS temples by the end of the year 2000. Wow, how many were there at the end of 1999? Wow, 50% increase in 1 year. So we started with the number in 1999. We got to pick a variable here. Let's call it T for temples. It increased by 50%. Move that decimal 1, 2 places, 0.5, and it's 50% of what it was in 1999. We don't take 50% of the final ever. So 50% of the temples that there were in 1999, so 1999's temples plus 50% of them ended up equaling 102. Hey, this is a happy math equation. We can add these together. 1 and 0.5 is 1.5t equals 102. Can we solve that for t? Sure we can. We would just divide both sides by 1.5. Divide by 1.5. And we get t equals, on the calculator, 102 divided by 1.5 equals 68. There were 68 temples at the end of 1999. Let's double check that answer. 68 temples is correct. Fascinating to see the growth that happened once small temples were implemented. Number 30. If the price of an object dropped 15% down to $59.50, what was the original price? Notice we need algebra because we're going backwards to find the original price, just like number 28 up here. Let's call this original price P. So the price of an object dropped 15%, move the decimal to 0.15 of what? Remember, you can't leave this alone. 15% of that? Nope, it's 15% of the price. So that's what it means to drop 15% of the price. So it started somewhere, dropped 15% of the price down to $59.50. Yeah, we can solve this. This is an equation. We know how to solve those. 1p minus 0.15p is 0.85p equals 59.50 if you want. Can we solve that? Sure. Let's divide both sides by 0.85. 0.85 and we get that P equals, calculator, 59.5 divided by 0.85 equals 70. $70 exactly. Let's double check that in the answers. And that is correct. Good.